Hello, I'm Toycat and welcome back to another third channel Let's Play. Today I have some more Pocket Cities for you all, or Pocket City for you all, and as you can see, another tornado has just hit me. These things are coming through like it's just no one's business, and one of the interesting things is this time it actually destroyed my city hall. That's right, the very thing on which my entire thing is built, my town hall, was destroyed in this, which means I can actually relocate it if I want to, and I'm gonna decentralize because that's something that always happens in American cities at least. We're going to build our town hall over here, and everything's going to change just a little bit. So yeah, our whole place has to be rebuilt, and because we don't do it fast enough, we actually have to do it by hand, which is kind of an interesting thing. And yeah, just basically everything has to be connected very slowly, very painfully by hand, but that's half the fun. Again, we can kind of redesign the city, we can have less crossroads across it, and we can have a more efficient design as a result. Again, we might deal with some traffic issues as an issue of that. Also, look, there's a there's a truck just stuck on this plot going in a circle, in a just an endless square, because like what else is it gonna do? And that's either tragic or hilarious, and I'm not quite sure which it is, but I love it regardless. Okay, we got it off there now. The truck is free. The truck no longer has to deal with this, and yeah, just I feel like having less intersections is a bad thing in a lot of different ways, but it's also vaguely a good thing in this one very particular way. So yeah, this video is going to be all about leveling up as fast as we can, doing some small things like, oh yeah, why don't we have some events? We just had a hurricane, but why not have a party and some fireworks? Hey, look at this. Fun times all round. And yeah, I guess we can also finally rebuild our zones. So despite having a huge tornado hit the city, the fireworks have got our economic productivity going right back to where you'd expect them to be. So as soon as we develop some more zones, we'll be all wonderful and we'll start, being back where we were originally. But yeah, you can see how things are actually going surprisingly well. I think mostly the low taxes. Like seriously, we lowered our taxes back when we could afford it to like low income, low sales tax, and now we just make money. It seems like no matter what we do, like hurricane hits the city, people are just here like want to make some money, and I'm just saying, even if that's something I personally think does have some merit, it does still make you question at least a little bit, like, I wonder if maybe, this whole game is like secretly just a way to push, like, if you have lower taxes, then you have happier people. And it's hard to disagree with it too much, right? I mean, it does have some basis in reality. If you take less things away from people, they might just be happier. It's an interesting little either bias or just interesting thing about the game, in my opinion. But yeah, today I wanted to talk about, because Pocket Cities is a fun game, it's a great thing to say, but I want to talk about TV shows and give you some recommendations, which might seem like a weird thing while we're just ranking up as fast as we can, buying land and filling it with roads, because that gives us the fastest XP bonuses. But yeah, basically the reason I wanted to do it is because there's a lot of good TV shows out there, but knowing which ones to watch is a genuine challenge. And it sounds like a sarcastic thing to say, oh, it's a challenge to work out how you should spend your time, but I feel like it really is in the modern era, right? Like, oh yeah, there's so many different things vying for your time, which ones are worth it, and if you want to get into a TV show, because again, YouTube basically killed TV, but there are still situations where you might want to watch, oh, that road's in the wrong place, I think. Okay, we'll have that road go all the way out to the end, and then we'll either have the road go at the edge of the map and be slightly issue filled, or we'll just move it forwards one block. In fact, why don't we do both? We'll move it forwards like that, and then we'll have it kind of like, again, it's very inefficient, but inefficiency is my middle name today. So yeah, we're going to stop a crime very quickly, because that's what we do. As you can see, there's a man right there, but we tap on him, and he gets just clicked away. We get to level up, and we get to buy some plant chow, apparently. So yeah, we're just going to roll through all of our little things. My nephew, whatever you do, don't bully the kids. Okay, there we go. Look, I can do that. So build a school is how we stop that one. And yeah, we're just going to keep on doing our small things, like building houses by the water, because we want this XP as fast as humanly possible. So here, because Mr. Firefighter, he hates fire so much, he wants a house by the water, so we build him one. Beachfront property, very nicest house he can humanly get, because I'm just a nice guy like that. But yeah, I wanted to recommend some TV shows, even though we're 4 minutes in here, because maybe you value my opinion on something, or at the very least it's just because I want to talk about some shows. So yeah, I'm talking about Netflix, because even though I don't approve too much of, like, I don't like widely support Netflix, they have some issues with how they do things. They take more and more shows off their thing, even though they kind of have to. It's still annoying, it is something like, everyone has Netflix if you're going to be watching stuff, so let's just assume you're on Netflix as you want my opinions here. So, first of all, I'm going to be recommending BoJack Horseman. I got into it recently, again, with my girlfriend, and the thing about BoJack Horseman that's so great is that it's like, you know, it's a cross between some really good writing and, you know, characters and stuff like that. That, you know, it's a good show. But then it's also set in a world full of animals, so there's just lots of tiny jokes like, it's you know, at one point there's a wedding scene where it's a wolf and he's dressed in clothing that says like sheep's clothing, and it's like, it's a wolf's in sheep clothing, and like, oh yeah, there's a dog called Mr. Peanut Butter, and like there's just loads of cute jokes about that, and he's got a bed that's a dog bed, and he's got pictures of newspapers that are framed in his house. There's all these tiny things that you spot. Also, let's have a road across there. Actually, I've decided, you know, we will have a road here after all. But yeah, so it's got like loads of like tiny, just like small jokes you can laugh at like that, while also having the more, I guess, complex, if you want to call it that. You know, like kind of the main arc, the detailed characters, and I've always liked it for that reason. So BoJack Horseman, really like it. I was sure, so again, this isn't a spoiler, this is just like how I knew it. I was sure that the whole thing was done and it was never coming back, but there is a 5th season on the way, so first recommendation, really, oh my god, there is a fire here. You know, I'm going to put a fire station near here in the corner. I reckon we need one. In fact, yeah, based on the fact, just on the fact that there's a fire right there, right now, that tells me that we do in fact need a fire station. And I'm gonna put one literally there to help with it, because now my park is on fire. This is more than just a tragedy. This is a multi-layered event. Okay, it's all good. But yeah, basically, I'm gonna first of all recommend BoJack Horseman. Second of all, I'm gonna give a, okay, so we're gonna get this road system worked out. Oh no, that's not right. Second of all, I wanted to recommend Big Mouth. Big Mouth is a show that it looks really like, I guess, because like childish, I guess, is a word you could use. Like, oh, that's gonna be a, you know, like some dick joke humor or whatever. But it's actually, oh, I mean, actually, is quite a lot of dick joke humor. But it's also a pretty good cartoon. It's by, I want to say there's some relation to them and the Family Guy people. But unlike Family Guy, it's actually got some, again, it's like, it's solidly written jokes, and I know, personally, I was like, yeah, I get that. It's, you know, it's about a group of, like, you know, like, people going through puberty, or, you know, going through changes or whatever. They have big mouths, which is a funny thing they reference or whatever, so if you like, you know, the title of the show being in the thing, then that's the thing for you, right? But no, it's wonderful. It's funny. There's a lot of things where you're like, it's so painful, but it's also so true, you know. And also, we have new zones we can unlock now, as well as, I imagine, like, we can probably build a hospital. I don't know if we have one or enough of them, so build one over there, because more hospitals is more better. And but yeah, oh, we've got a, let's go find some places. Oh, we can actually find some baddies if we look in the crime view. Let's give it a whirl. So there's gonna be some baddies. I don't like that term, but there's gonna be some people over here. We gotta watch out for them, I reckon. There's gonna be some crimes happening. Maybe some yoga too, which would be nice. Aha! There is a crime man. Oh, I stereotyped a guy. That was rude of me. He didn't deserve that. He's just going about doing his day. I just assumed he was up to some crime, which was very, very offensive to me. So in the meantime, let's blow up some blocks. We're talking about Big Mouth, because like I said, it's wonderful. And also, I wanted to mention that the reason that I'm recommending BoJack Horseman here is because if you try to watch it, start from episode 1. I've had this happen to me, and then it happened to someone else, again, my girlfriend, because I showed her episode like 6 months ago when I was just going through it for the first time, just the episode I was watching at the time, and it was the most depressing episode of the show. Without spoiling it, if you know the show, it won an Emmy or some award, but it's like a flashback, and it's just the most depressing singular episode about his parents, so not a good episode. Wasn't even really an episode of the show. And the first episode I watched was an underwater episode. Everyone's underwater the entire episode. How do we build dynamite? It's such a weird, like, which of these does it fit into? Is it a service? I guess it is vaguely a service, so we'll blow up some stuff right there. But yeah, basically, oh, it blows up all the things nearby it. But yeah, so like, there's a lot of bad episodes to watch in your first one, but it's also just like, if you watch any normal episode, or just start with season 1, episode 1, you'll have a good time. Same with Big Mouth, actually. It kind of needs to be watched sequentially, which sucked, because back in the old days of TV, like, I used to watch on my grandmother's, like, she had the nice, like, you know, the fancy TV, so we'd watch, like, the things, but we wouldn't be there every day. We wouldn't be able to watch TV every day at the same time, so we just kind of had to, like, piece together all the different bits of the show, which was near impossible. Like, I always hated that. It was never realistically a thing we were doing. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to just give a quick little plug right there, because love sequential TV shows. I guess it's just a plug for the idea of sequential TV. But no, yeah, I really am big. We're gonna make this whole corner industrial because no one wants industrial near their houses. So we put it in the corner of the world. Look at me, I'm solving issues one by one. Oh, and we can upgrade places like this. So I wonder what that actually does. Oh, the game's crashed again. But this time we're gonna be strong. We're gonna scroll right back into it. You can see all my apps and maybe find something embarrassing in there. We're gonna go just strong right back into the game, and there's gonna be some amount of progress lost, I imagine. Oh no, there's not. Okay, yeah, it's weird. Like the game is crashing more and more, but only when I'm recording, which does raise questions as to, like, why? I wonder what difference that's making. But yeah, I think at this point, because we're like running out of stuff, it probably is best to start upgrading zones rather than like necessarily making new ones. So here you can see the zone has been upgraded, and now we have a mega house in the corner. It's a residential large. Lots of people can fit there. And actually, you know, why don't we just like upgrade every zone? Like, let's just go whole map. Oh, it costs a lot. That's why we don't do it. Well, let's do it anyway. Like, spend 192,000. Oh my gosh, that was that is a big building project. But now we can make a Ferris wheel at least, and we should make a lot of money from this, right? Like all of this development, we've just made a nice area of town. I like to believe this is how like most developments are done, right? Like, oh yeah, so there's just one guy, he has a budget, he scrolls over the map, he makes the budget fit as far as he can, and that's just how things go. So we're gonna put taxes up to moderate, just because I want to see how much money I can make with normal taxes. Should get me some more quests complete, like make it rain, because that's what we're going for today. So yeah, I like sequential TV shows. I like Badmouth for that reason. Really like BoJack Horseman. If you haven't watched Rick and Morty, of course, Rick and Morty like fans make you want to not watch Rick and Morty, regardless of whether you know it. But it is a good TV show, regardless of that. And I didn't even realize, like, I did a rewatch recently, and one of the things I've realized through rewatching TV shows is just how little I absorb after a certain amount of time. Like, good TV, you watch it, and then it's kind of like in you. And so you don't necessarily appreciate all of it so much. Like, sometimes the stuff that's so good in a rewatch is wonderful, in my opinion, because it's so good that you're not just watching it the first time because it's kind of there. You're watching it lots and lots of times because it's great every time, and that's a good sign, in my opinion. So yeah, rewatching TV shows is what I've been doing, and Rick and Morty. Oh, so if you buy half my properties, we get a little rebate. I think I almost did that actually. So upgrades will make residential, commercial, and industrial zones more effective. Already done that one as well. Look at me, I just got that rebate of 54,600. I guess we're gonna open these new quests because we gotta go find the eggs, and also she's gonna blow. We built a city. Trust me, things are gonna heat up. Guess what? We got more natural disasters coming. So yeah, because we can you know, do these parties and get our stuff going. Yeah, it's firework time, and also we can just have like a. Oh, actually, let's have a volcano come through. Just see what it's like. Because if we set detonate it, then it can't detonate itself. So volcanoes are pretty damn destructive, to say the least. But the good news is if we tap here. Oh no, a volcano. Oh my god, a volcano just appears. You can't even destroy it. It's there. There's no like rebuild around the volcano. It's like permanently there. And it sets fires to everything around it. The good news is my fire station isn't affected. The bad news is it's very close to being affected. Okay, but but I leveled up regardless because you get so much money. So click the disaster report for more info. Okay, so in the events, we go to the report, and then you can just rebuild all. And it's as if there was no volcano to begin with, besides the fire that has followed it. But I mean, you know, who cares about fires anyway? And yeah, you can turn these off, but honestly, it's kind of fun. So should we have a tornado as well, like just for the money? Again, it sounds super weird to say, oh, maybe a natural disaster would be a good way to improve our financial health, but yet here we are. So yeah, Rick and Morty, of course, everyone knows about it, you probably already. But in case you don't, like, it's one of those shows that you might think, like, I don't really need to watch that. But yeah, I totally would put it at the top of any list, just because of the fact. So we're moving that up there now, and we're gonna adjust everything a little bit, I think, here. I would say put it like near the top of any list, just because of the fact. Oh man, we've got like lots of individual roads here that need to be replaced. It has to be near the top of any list because, you know, it's like there's a lot of like multi-layered jokes. There's a lot of like tiny things. You know, it's a well put together, you know, like comedy show, I guess you could describe it as. Same with South Park, except South Park is like it's very good at doing satire. Like the satire in South Park is some of the best out there in the world. And if you want to learn about how to not go wild at anything, because guess what, some things are jokes, it's important. I think realizing the value of jokes is a really really understated skill. We should have like lessons in school of like, hey, jokes are funny. You can get them sometimes. When people say things, sometimes they don't say a thing solely because they mean the thing. Like honestly, I think one of the most valuable lessons like that makes someone, like let's say smart, but like more valuable or more able to appreciate the world around them, is just realizing that just because someone says something is the case, it doesn't mean it is the case. When a company says, oh yeah, we're being really environmentally friendly because we love the environment, I mean, companies don't necessarily love the environment. There are some that do. They're doing it because they're like, oh yeah, we've calculated that it's a good kind of thing. It's like, Pride. Do you really think Skittles are, like they love, gay and lesbian people? I mean, maybe that's what you think. Maybe they really do. But these, the gestures are not about that. They're just about like, oh yeah, we've worked out this is the best way to get things done. So we're gonna upgrade everything again. It looks like. Oh, we can only upgrade once, but still, we get a lot of XP every time we do it, which gives me a good enough reason to do it personally. And let's have a tornado come through. I mean, even though my buildings aren't quite complete yet, why not have a tornado come for the fun? Oh yeah, just. I feel like this is definitely one of the sillier parts of the game. The fact that it's like a genuine good thing to have one of those come through. Also, while that has its own thing, let's build some fun and let's get a Ferris wheel. You better believe we want one of those in town. Oh, it's free wide, so it's actually perfect for this slot right here. There we go. That's nice. But so money is actually going down for the first time. Good news though. Use some of that aid and rebuild everything. And look at that. Now I get XP for rebuilding the things as well. It's just basically all round good times here in Toy Cat Town or Toy City. And really, there's a valuable lesson to be learned about cities mismanagement here. But I'm just going to use this as an opportunity to say, everything is okay. You don't need to worry about things that you're not worried about. Just worry about the things that you are worried about. That makes no sense, but that's where we are anyway. So one of the things I actually haven't built is a Sky Rail City. I was so excited about this because I was like, yeah, they're going to be so great. But the problem is traffic. So Sky Rail stations, we'll build one here, right? They take up regular spaces, which is pretty tragic by itself. Then the rail is expensive. It's 1,000 per block. And again, you can't build overseas. So it's like, oh, it looks like you can actually build overseas. Oh, interesting. So you can build overseas, but only... Oh no, I can't build over it because it's not owned by me. So I'll spend the 120,000, which is pretty steep. And now we'll road across there. But yeah, so Rick and Morty, another great show. Oh no, okay, that's not right. Can wholeheartedly recommend. I'm gonna do this just because I want to see what a rail looks like going along from there to here. So we'll have it go. Oh no, this isn't right. Oh, that's very ugly. We want to have it go over the ocean for as long as possible in an ideal world. So we'll have it go to there, and then we'll kind of have it go to over here. And then there we go, and they'll have it like connect to a station over here. Again, there's basically no point for this because it improves traffic, but we have two basically unneeded traffic areas being connected up together. But again, we're just gonna have to choose not to question that. But yeah, we got two stations. Will they run trains between them? Oh, they will. There you go. It's like a monorail system too. I guess it is. Yeah, it claimed to be a sky rail, not a train system. Looks super weird. Relieves traffic. There is no need to relieve traffic here, but eventually I can have it go like round the map to there. So it's like a long-term investment that will pay off in very, very few appreciable ways, I think. But most long-term investments never pay off anyway. That's just a fact, right? I mean, that's not a fact. Also, my battery's low. It's fine. We don't need battery anyway. So but yeah. So Rick and Morty's another one. South Park, again, great show if you want to understand satire. I know there's like a lot of controversies or whatever around it. But the truth is, it's just like, yeah. I mean, if it's I think you need to have controversies almost sometimes if you want to be like a comedy show. Because a lot of comedy is, it has to push the edge. It has to do these sorts of things. So let's increase our cash flow even more. Looks like we've done it already. Get that 3300 XP. So good at that cash flow. So now we have to connect commercial and industrial zones via railway to get 19,000 and then buy lots of money. And yeah, we've got lots of different things going on here. The one which we probably should have considered though is definitely a school. So educates 4,000 citizens. We'll put it over here, I guess, right at the crossroads. There we go. And now we got people more educated. People get some more money, which means I get some more money. Which, by the way, it's pouring in faster than I can humanly spend it at this point. Like we are almost at the point of like absurdity, and that's just going to increase it even more. It looks like. Yep, damn straight. Schooled. That fug can't deal with this. But yeah, so I think I recommend like 4 shows so far. And to go off the, you know, like, because I've like been like, oh yeah, this, that. I like How I Met Your Mother a lot. Every season except the ending. If you want to watch a show with a terrible ending, which is great because, honestly, like, okay, so in the same way you kind of can appreciate a bad breakup because it's like, well, I have no desire to see you again. You insert bad word for a woman here, or for a man, or for a whatever you date, a horse if you're in the BoJack Horseman universe. But the beautiful thing, in my opinion, about the How I Met Your Mother is the fact that it ends horrifically. Like I'm angry about the ending right now. Like thinking about it, I'm like, why? Why did it end that way? Who thought that would be a good idea? Also, what is even upgrading each of these times? Like it's not the same buildings, is it? Maybe it is the same buildings. But yeah, we're gonna set up a small industrial zone. Oh, and the app crashed again. So we're gonna open it up again. Again, it's just now you just get to see all my apps. You get to see what a Toy Cat phone looks like in between every single time one of these things. But I'm just going to very quickly set up a industrial zone. So a commercial and an industrial. And then a commercial. Oh, no. Yeah, and then a commercial and industrial. Oh, we can have things. Oh, no, you can't. Also, let's say we can have it be under the station. We can't, but it's close enough to the same thing. And then we'll have, I guess we could have it be underneath the rail. Our commercial industrial stuff. I'm not even sure. Let's first of all see the services, special, dynamite. Can we blow up these mountains? You can't blow up the big mountains, which means we have to have a road down there. Actually, no, it doesn't. Maybe we can just only use these Skyrail stations to save some effort. I'm not even sure, but yeah, let's set up somewhere on the beach, maybe. Industrial zone, because you can set up, for the record, it's silly, but I set up a bank on the beach, so it's like people going for a party, having a great time, next to a bank, a mega bank too, which is fun in my opinion. I like it. It is very silly. It doesn't really make too much of any sense, I guess. But you know, we'll have a beach next to the bank as well. You know, sometimes you see the money, the wealth fast financial, and it's a great opportunity to realize that maybe you should go to the beach. We're just making so much money, by the way. Like I literally cannot spend this as fast as it's coming in. If I try to upgrade the entire map, I think we're gonna. I get 83,000. That's some money. If we start buying the zones as rapidly as we kind of need them, so like, you know, I wanted to have the SkyTrain expand. Let's go this direction. We're not gonna be able to. So that's the thing. But yeah, I think I've made some recommendations I like. How I Met Your Mother's great if you just want sitcom that's like basically funny. There's a lot of cultural references that you'll get because you watch it, and it's not as old as Friends, which is like the classic sitcom you watch. I feel like Friends is something I always recommend as like if you want to like experience English as like a decent percentage of the world does. Like I have Alex, you might in fact know him. He's done Cooking with Toy Cat once. He knows an Iranian guy that like knows English entirely from Friends, so he speaks with like a Joey accent, and that's ridiculous. But the fact that that can be true is also kind of a cool thing about the world, in my opinion. Like it's weird. We gotta. So there's a crime happening right next. Oh, I think the fire probably stopped the crime. Yeah, it looks like the volcano actually did stop a crime, which really, when you think about it, makes it good. And there's a fire next to that as well. So yeah, just bad things all around. Really, in fact, how do these volcanoes even happen? Like, it's not like you just find a volcano in the middle of your town. You know, there are lots of questions I have about this. But for now, yeah, we're doing really well. I think we've got to the point in the game where like, it's not really so much of an object. Oh, okay, we've done it again. Okay, quest complete. Give me the money. Let's quickly rebuild after this event. Oh wait, report, go, rebuild all. Yep, it's gonna cost me a lot of money. That's a-okay though. Let's fly to the rescue, get that 3,100 XP. Basically, yeah, we're just at the point where like everything is just happening. It's happening so fast. We get to set up bus depots now, and it's really just as fast as I want to expand the city. Is as fast as you know, the city will get expanded. We're gonna be able to go to the deserts now, and yeah, I guess we should just really buy up all the chests at this point. Like, there are a few more chests out there in the wild. Let's go unlock them, and let's be done with this. So. Yeah, I think we've just about mastered this game. Maybe I'll come back once we hit some more issues or once there's more things to be done. Okay, 20,000. I spent a lot of money on that $20,000 chest. It's like that show. Is it Pawn Stars or something? The one where they just buy like lockers. Again, it's famous because it's a meme on the internet. But you know, that real example of that show right here. Except, you know, like you buy a plot of land, anything could be in the treasure chest. Could be 20,000, or it could be like a real new structure that I want. Oh, is it the new structure? It's an obelisk, which means now I can come back here and be like, actually, yeah, I will build an obelisk. It's probably leisure, right? It's not leisure. Weirdly enough, I guess it counts as a special service. Huh? Odd. Oh no, it doesn't count special. It's a traffic. Say institutions. Special. Okay. No, it has to be special, right? It's just I'm not seeing it. Also, Party GJ and Giant Ducky. There are some very weird things going on here. Oh, and there's a solar power plant. That's okay, so there is a reason for the desert to exist. There's a reason for everything to exist, it seems as though. Which is nice. So yeah, the game, we're kind of speeding through it at this point, which is a good sign. And I'm kind of pleased with everything that's going on. We need to lower taxes at some stage when we're not making money. But for now, make money, get paid, and go watch BoJack Horseman, because I'm just really into it lately. Really, you know, this is like TV shows I recommend. I just want to talk about BoJack all day, and how, like, you know, I watched it the second time round, I'm like, there's some jokes hidden in this scene. You know, like, you spot the first time, like, oh, everyone's still wearing those t-shirts referencing episode 1, and oh, they still call it Hollywood, but it just, like, it layers and layers and layers, and that's a good sign. When you can rewatch something and get more jokes, that's like the dream from what you can make. I wish you could rewatch this Let's Play and realize, there's been a joke the whole time. And maybe I'll make a Let's Play one day where you can. Maybe it already is the case. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Third channel, don't care. Goodbye.